Well, joining me now, three of the best political analysts, all Lou Dobbs Tonight contributors, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist, New York Daily News, Michael Goodwin, Democratic strategist, Robert Zimmerman. Robert, also National Democratic Committeeman and Senator Clinton supporter, syndicated columnist Miguel. Perez, do you want to declare here tonight so we can just clean all of this up? Well, we just heard Terry McAuliffe say 20 points plus. What does she get out of that, Robert, in West Virginia?
The actual delegate count I can't give you, but obviously it does speaks to the strength of her message. And the bottom line to the whole process is the voters make this decision, not the political pundits, not the political operatives in Washington. So I think it's to her credit.
Not those nasty superdelegates?
Well, the superdelegates, I'm one of the nice superdelegates, but the point is superdelegates are going to follow the popular vote. That's why you see this.
What's the point? What's the point of that? Why have them? Just make more pledged delegates, if that's the way it's supposed to work.
Superdelegates.
That's a silly thing. That's a herd mentality. That's orthodoxy. That's unimaginative. Come on, give us something.
And I'll give you an answer for it. Superdelegates are ultimately elected officials, party activists. They reflect the popular will. That's what's happening here.
When's the last time the popular will was reflected in Washington, D.C. on anything?
Well, I'm talking about the primaries around this country. You've got a 50-50 split almost amongst the voters so far, and the superdelegates are lining up 50-50 right now.
You feel better, Michael?
No, I feel worse, actually. Terry McAuliffe is one of the great spin masters of all time.
He really is.
And Robert is working a close second here.
He's one of the great chairs, too, I might say.
But there's a bit of fiction. The race is essentially over. Tomorrow night, if she picks up a net of 10 or 12 delegates, she'll then be 165 behind instead of 175 or 180.
Including superdelegates.
Right, including superdelegates, which, you know, I think in the last 2 weeks or so, he's picked up 21 and she's picked up 1. Right. So clearly, I think everybody in the party sees that it's over. The question is, how is it going to end? That's the only issue.
You agree, Miguel?
Absolutely. I think it's not only, it's a question of if. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when and how she does it. Obviously, she doesn't know how to get out right now. She probably wants to get out on an upswing after the next couple of primaries when she can win.
With $20 million extra in the bank.
But, yeah,
because she's $20 million in debt, that campaign.
And counting.
But she's not going to get it back at this point, and the momentum is not there.
That isn't the way it works. Yeah. Well, so Barack Obama's it. Is that your judgment?
It is my judgment.
So it's a brokered nomination. So what's all the talk about not having a brokered convention? They brokered the nomination. He hasn't got the pledged delegates. Neither one of them could possibly do it. What is it? What is the great? You talked about fictions. The great fiction here is that these candidates, either one of them, will not be a brokered candidate. They haven't won anything.
But the great mistake was made by the Democratic Party where they didn't reduce proportionally the number of delegates that would be required to qualify. When they disqualified Michigan and Florida, they should have lowered that number, lowered that bar. They didn't do that.
And McAuliffe actually, I think, said over the weekend that he would, the Clinton campaign would accept reducing the delegates by half, which is what the Republicans did in Michigan and Florida. That wouldn't help Clinton. Again, very small, but not enough to make a difference. So no matter how this is cut, it's basically she is not going to pass him in delegates unless she gets 95% of what's outstanding.
Again, I'm lost.
Well, let me help clarify.
These are. Well, let me tell you how lost I am, and then you can fix it.
Breadcrumbs.
It's about the pledged delegates, and then the superdelegates weigh in. Now the superdelegates simply follow the popular vote. So what is the point of the superdelegate? I'm completely and utterly lost about the
premise you're working from. Would have to just clarify the premise you're working from. It's not about the pledged delegates. It's not about the superdelegates. It's about the voters in the caucuses and the primaries throughout this country. By June 3rd, that process will be completed.
Do you hear
Some person will have won the popular vote and perhaps win the delegate count. Then the superdelegates, who are members of Congress, governors, party activists, they should have a role in choosing the nominee. Then they'll join the decision.
Does Senator Clinton want to be vice president?
Is that what this is about? I don't.
Is that what this is about? Because for me, it's about. Here's what it's about.
Yeah.
I can't believe that the Democratic Party denied the vote to millions of people in Florida, in Michigan, for whatever reason. Your party leaders, all of you folks in the Democratic National Committee, completely, utterly absurd. Number one. Number two.
I don't accept responsibility for that decision, but nonetheless.
What's his name? Howard Dean, you know. But the idea that we're not going to see a vote on an election, a nomination process this close. Now, I understand all the Obama folks, you know, they want the nomination. All the Clinton folks want the nomination. Both sides get mad at me when I say something that's disadvantageous to one or the other. But the truth is, this is the party elite deciding who the nominee is, and you can't mask that, you can't camouflage it, you can't disguise it.
Worse than that, I'm even agreeing with you.
And you're one of them.
And I'm one of them, one of the Democratic National Committee members. The idea that a group of the Rules and Bylaw Committee will decide May 31 what the decision is just inexcusable. The voters should have made that decision.
And still, you still could do it. It's not too
No argument from me.
To be pure and to restore your virtue. We'll be back with our panel in a moment. Let's check in first with Campbell Brown in the Election Center. Campbell, what are you working on?
Well, Lou, we've got a lot to report, but tonight we're going to start with the very latest on that terrible earthquake in China. There are now some 10,000 people that the Chinese government is confirming are dead. We're going to talk to our own John Vauss, who is in the quake zone tonight. And then there is an important change in the superdelegate totals. As we get back to politics, we will give you the brand new numbers and see if there is any scenario whereby Hillary Clinton can still win the nomination. Plus, with yet another member of Congress in trouble, we're going to look at the stagecraft behind surviving a sex scandal. Yes, we will. We'll explain that coming up at the top of the hour, Lou.
That stagecraft and scandal, that sounds intriguing. Look forward to it. Thank you very much. We'll have much more with our panel, and Nebraska State Attorney General joins me. He's being criticized for not taking action against illegal immigration. It gets complicated. We'll be right back and straighten it all out.
CNN Election Center next. Keep track of this wild election year with the best political team anywhere. CNN Election Center next.
I really got sick and tired of every day when I met somebody. They would look at the top of my head, and then they'd look me in the face.
I think my hair looks better now than it did when I was in my 20s.
Hey, some people are beautiful bald, but it wasn't for me.
I feel great about myself now. I look the way I think I'm supposed to look.
It was like a dream come true for me because I wanted my own hair back.
The Bosley treatment's absolutely exceeded my expectations, no question about it.
This is all me, so I'm thrilled.
I finally enjoy getting a haircut.
Now that I see the results, I wish I would have done it 4 or 5 years sooner.
I'm really excited about having my hair back.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. To find out more about this clinically proven permanent hair loss solution from Bosley, call to receive this free guidebook, medical report, and DVD.
This is the only permanent solution to hair loss.
Choose to do something about your hair loss.
Call 1-800-497-7823. That's 1-800-497-7823. Or go online to bosley.com today.
If you're turning 65, it's time to make a choice about your Medicare health plan. What kind of plan is right for you? And which health plan company can help you with this important decision? If you're turning 65, you can turn to Humana. Humana offers 3 things that will make your choice easier. A wide range of plan options, valuable extra services like a fitness center membership, and this free book with the details you need. Call right now and receive Turning 65, a guide for your future with Medicare. Inside, you'll learn about Humana's Medicare health plans and exclusive member services. Call 1-888-329-9284. If you're turning 65, turn to Humana, the company that's been serving Medicare members for over 20 years. Make the easy decision about your Medicare health plan. Call now, 1-888-329-9284.
Barbara Walters, Larry King, CNN Tonight, 9 Eastern.
We're back with Michael Goodwin, Robert Zimmerman, and Miguel Perez. Because basically, the reality is that some say Howard Dean broke the rules to strip all of these delegates. So why doesn't somebody just sue his brains out and stop it? And let's say the Democratic Party is going to restore itself to its traditions and its roots.
Well, I understand there's a lawsuit that may do that, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Look, the bottom line here is they messed up. They never knew how to fix it. They still don't know how to fix it. They have a mess.
Do you think Senator Obama should just say, Senator Clinton, maybe we'll just do a redo in Michigan and Florida?
Absolutely.
Show
that is the only solution. And unfortunately, they're running out of time and money. They don't have the money or the time to do it now.
Look, I think Senator Clinton cares about this mostly because she's behind, of course. The fact
that would be a powerful motivator.
Right. But for Democrats, what they do have to worry about is a general election. I mean, these 2 states are very important states. Florida is, trends Republican.
You tell me one reason why a Democrat in Florida or Michigan would vote for either one of these candidates or the Democrat and not walk out of the Democratic Party.
That's the incentive to do something.
Because I'll tell you, you want to talk about somebody who's being foolish? You get treated the way voters, Democratic voters in Michigan and Florida do, I can't even imagine what the rationale would be to support that party.
Right, right. And the fact that the Howard Dean and his friends, I don't know if Robert was among them or not.
Howard Dean has friends?
His colleagues,
okay.
that they didn't see this coming. It is amazing. I mean, the Republicans already did what the Democrats should have done earlier, but the Democrats still walked right into this.
What's amazing is the Rules and Bylaws Committee is making the decision, not the voters. What's astounding is that it's being made on May 31, which, of course, nullifies its impact in terms of momentum. And truly, what's really tragic about what's transpired is it hurts Democrats' credibility going forward in Michigan and Florida come Election Day. A lot of ground to make up here. To Obama's credit now, as he's planning his strategy going forward, he's going into these states.
Well, as he goes into those states, the question is, what is the Democratic Party? I mean, you people will have brokered a candidate and tried to pretend that you didn't, and you will have avoided, and then you'll get to go into convention and act like you didn't. And the result will be what?
Barack Obama's going to have to answer to the voters in Michigan and Florida why he didn't fight harder for a revote, without question. Why he didn't fight at all for a revote.
But what's he going to say? Is he going to say, look, you know, I'm here now because the party wouldn't let me come. This is why I ignored you all this time. Now you should pay attention to me? It's kind of hard. Don't you think?
Well,
I quite agree.
Well, but I think, Miguel...
He wasn't going to argue.
As you pointed out before, Florida was going to be tough for Obama because of he said he would meet with Castro, which kind of kills him among the Cuban vote. But Michigan is a real important state for the Democrats, and that's the big one. Yeah.
A lot of other folks to meet with, too.
That's right.
Maybe a few delegates at the convention first. All right. Thank you very much, Miguel. Good to have you with us. Michael, thank you. Robert, thank you. Still ahead, I'll be talking with Nebraska's Attorney General about the illegal immigration crisis in his state. Stay with us. We'll be right back.